Let's hope this is good. Bang on! Bang on! Why do you look this way? Oh God! You are so sad!
Scene 1, Apple, take 1.
Hi, I'm Brent, guitarist and singer for BBA.
I'm Brian, the lead singer of BBA and bass player.
We're here to let you know that what you're about to hear... Wait, is it here or is it C? Go back to sleep, Brian.
Mommy won't let me have any.
What you're about to hear in C is real. Some of the interviews have been changed to protect their identity.
Brent, you think he goes
Scene 1, Apple, take 2.
If you can, please enjoy the show.
Currently live here now.
Never ends. Let's get this motherfucker rolling.
We all try to be the best, you know, and we figure, like, you know, forget that, you know, who wants to be the best? You know, there's too many people trying to be the best. So we decided, you know, let's be the worst at what we do. And I think we succeeded. Yes, we were the worst band. I mean, just listen to any of our tapes. They're horrible. You know, but that's what we did, and we did it with flying colors. They were so bad that we just don't know what we were playing. You know, what we tuned to. There was no standard tuning. We decided, we just picked up the instruments. We didn't even know there was tuning. We didn't even know the instrument had to be in tune, basically.
Konnichiwa. No. I have never heard of that band before. Are they any good? I love American hip hops.
You can't film here.
Hello, we are off to America. This is my apartment in Germany. We're in Düsseldorf. As you could see, the streets are very small and all the houses are uniform, just like Germans should. Last day in Germany, and we're heading off to, we're gonna go play our first gig in the States. No, but we're real psyched. Uli's ready. We had his back waxed yesterday. So, like, we're good to go. Just rock and roll time.
Rock and roll.
Rock and roll.
How long has it been since you've been to America?
5 years, 4 years. I mean, time goes by out here in Europe, you know?
Okay, shit. Let's go or something.
So, like, when are you heading to Germany? Really? For how long? So it's here, right? Like, how far away?
Right the water.
Really? That close? Have you interviewed him yet? BBA originally had 4 members: me, Brian, Scott, and Zach. We all met around the same time, but it was me and Brian that had it in our heads to form a band. Hey Brian, we should totally form a band.
Is that how you say hello to me?
Hey Brian, we should totally form a band.
I think that'd be a super duper idea.
I know, I think we should totally form a band.
Oh man, my mom cooked me noodle kugel again.
We should totally form a band.
Man, we could rock more than Aerosmith. I would like to have jumpsuits and platform shoes. Man, I can't believe there's a trailer park so close to the school. Rock right now. Let's rock right now. Woo!
Zach was in because he was the only one that actually had an instrument. Scott, on the other hand, was in because he swore his older brother would let him use his drum set, but that was never really the case.
Well, he was an interesting character. I mean, he wasn't really... Like, he was part of the band, but not really part of the band. Like, you know, BBA was just 2 people. I mean, he was like the 0.5, if there was one. You know, his contribution was really minuscule, and he was just an ass to work with.
Well, hey man, I totally stuck my finger up Scott's butt.
Oh my God, let me smell it. Come here.
Oh, come here, take a whiff.
Oh my God, it smells so good.
Oh yeah, savor the flavor, savor the flavor.
Adding Scott in retrospect was a really bad idea. Brian and Scott hated each other. I don't remember what started it, but they got into a fist fight that led into my bedroom closet.
I was at a party and, you know, Scott just, you know, we came into argument. I had it up to here with him, you know, and I just decided to, you know, show him who's boss. I gave him a couple of good sucker punches to the stomach. Was he bleeding? I don't remember that. I knew I fought him, and basically after that day he was out of the band.
Brian and I got our guitars for Christmas. I thought I got it down pretty well. Brian, on the other hand, sucked. The first gig, I remember it pretty vividly. Zach got it for us. The only thing he ever really did for the band. It had only been a few months, 0 band practice, and you know, we're already having a gig. This was our first time actually playing in front of people. Not just people, but kids our own age. This was the only night Scott was allowed to use his brother's drum set. For the most part, it was the first time we've all played together.
You can't get like food like this in Europe. It's fabulous. Americans don't know what they're missing. This is fabulous. No, you're not worth it.
Out of the 4 of us, I'd say Brian was the worst. He just couldn't play the bass. Really didn't get why he couldn't figure it out. It was clear he would have to either leave the band or switch to something else.
Yeah, no, I play an E-string bass and, you know, 4-string standard plucking, you know, this normal picking with the 2 fingers, you know, arch.
We'd only been practicing these cover songs, but by the sounds that we were producing, you really couldn't tell. I think maybe halfway through the second song, everyone in the room started systematically leaving. we were left with the decision to either keep playing or say fuck it and eat some cake. We ended up just saying fuck it and eating cake. Soon after that whole experience, Zach left the band, which was good since no one wanted him in it anyway. So now it was just down to the three of us. For the most part, it was just Brian and I. Scott never bothered to come to band practice, and we never bothered to bring band practice to him. Scott never had any interest in the band, I think. He didn't really listen to the same kind of music we did. He liked rap while we liked, well, not rap. We went through several names, and before we even had instruments, we were thinking of band names. I came up with Infant with a Gun. Yeah, Brian came up with the Toilet. Scott, I think, came up with the LSD, and later on I tossed in the Monster in front of it to make it Monster LSD, which stood for Lifeguards Suck Dick. We held on to them for a few weeks before eventually changing them again. We were Sal, Nothing, The Inner, Pissant, The Greenheads, Vomit. It wasn't until I watched this TV movie about Charlie Manson that I got our band name. There's one particular special they talked about Manson Family Bus. Boom, that was it. I knew what our band name was, Black Bus. Somewhere along the way we added American. We started writing our own songs. Brian still sucked at bass, so I kind of promoted him to lead singer. We were young and didn't really know much. We hadn't really experienced much in life, so instead of singing about heartache or addiction, we sung about other things we did know about, which came off a little silly. But that was Brian. He was a funny guy. He came up with a lot of interesting topics. I always found his early lyrics funny and kind of thought-provoking, like a fart you hear but never smell. Out several demo tapes over a month. The first that we were actually proud of was the Unruly album. It was kind of a staple for what BBA was all about. Sex, bowel movements, and girls with roller skates on rooftops. First paying gig was at a bar. We had to lie about our age to even audition. Scott never even made it, so it was just me and Brian again. I guess by then we all knew Scott wasn't really a part of the group. He was just something we kept in our back pocket just in case. We never even played for him, just dropped off our Unruly album demo tape. I felt kind of low. I mean, we had practiced a lot since the birthday gig. I really just thought about ending it. The band, not my life. Later that night I get a call. And surprise, it's the manager. And he tells me the band he booked that night and it just dropped out and he needs a band to fill in for them. He needs us there in 30 minutes. Now, by all accounts, that's impossible. So I call up Brian and tell him, grab his bass and head out to the bar. And, to tell Scott to do the same. About 10 minutes later, I get a call from Brian telling me Scott can't use the drum set. Fortunately for us, Brian's younger brother had a kiddie drum set. With all our equipment and Brian's brother's kiddie drum set, we both sped down the street like crazy people, racing to the gig. And I live over here, and Brian lives way the fuck over here, both an hour away, added with traffic. So we get there, and already we aren't well received. I'm not sure if you've ever had a beer bottle thrown at your head, but it hurts a lot. The gig was horrible. Brian forgot most of the lyrics, so he just made them up as he went along, all the while banging on a small drum set he completely towered over, which made me laugh my ass off every time I looked over at him, which made me fuck up, which made them throw even more bottles at us. It was all just one giant domino effect.
Keep it cold. 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 Keep my whole life watching you.
A few years later, the place burnt down to the ground. No, I'll stop you there. We had nothing to do with it. But, I wasn't sad when it happened either. 50 each, that's how much the first gig paid. Pretty good in our eyes. I bought a distortion pedal while Brian got, something. It wasn't band related. Maybe it was a sonic toothbrush. I always thought I took the music too seriously. Either that or Brian didn't. Most times I felt he just wanted to come over, to eat Pop-Tarts or watch porno. Which is what we spent most of our time doing anyways. I think I took the fun out of it. I was way too serious and way too assholey. Yelling at Brian was fun. He frustrated me. Yet at the same time, made me forget how much we sucked. I liked the songs we produced. Call Me Crazy. But I still knew, and so did Brian, that we were horrible.
Yeah. Yes. No. Yeah.
We played out of tune, we sang out of key, we had no timing, we had no rhythm. We sung about poop and vomit, and when they say worst band in the world, I figure we were the worst band of all time.
Now that the gig cherry had been popped, we started getting more gigs. Our favorite place was a record store. They had this tiny red stage with their own full-grown drum set with microphone. Pretty good spot to get heard. That's back when people actually went to record stores to get their music. I guess that's really what started our little fan base. We talked the owner into letting us sell the Unruly album there. We quickly fucked that gig up pretty fast though. Not by us really doing anything, but just by our performance. Meaning people were complaining and started losing money in the store. That's when they banned us from performing. And lose it. Brian wanted to keep performing outside the store just to piss them all off.
Our name now is Ton of Jobby. Are you ready to be mad? Shut up.
But like I said, for all 10 that hate us, 2 shall rise to worship.
True.
Did BBA have any groupies?
For some reason, we had gay groupies. I don't know why.
You mean
No,
women gay
no.
groupies? Or
We had men. We had men. Men at our shows mostly.
We had a few fans, which completely shocked the 2 of us, but not in a way you'd think. Our fan base weren't really fans, just curious people looking to see a car wreck. News started to go around about us pretty quickly. It wasn't very long till we got the title of worst band around. At first we found it a little insulting. That lasted all of a minute. We mostly just found it pretty fucking funny. You know, we couldn't be the best, so let's be the worst. Started to notice more and more people showing up to our shows that I'd seen nights previous. The majority of the audience and our fans would buy the Unruly album after the show just so they could burn or break it right in front of us. It became kind of a ritual. Brian had a positive way of looking at it, too. At least they paid for it first. We never really had any female groupies, just a bunch of rejects and assholes, which was what we were, so it made sense.
How did you feel about when people would buy your tapes and then burn them and smash them in front of you after they bought them?
I don't know. I thought it was part of the act. I thought they got the essence of BBA. Not that they degraded us by doing it, but they sort of got the essence, the idea to destroy, and you know, we created this beautiful art, but we took their money and they destroyed it. You know, it's something about life, about destruction. You know, how all life is somehow destroyed eventually. You know, no one wants to be the guy who gets decapitated, but eventually someone's gonna get decapitated.
Women didn't really get our music. A lot of people didn't, but especially women. I think they found our music juvenile. I know that if we had some female groupies, things might have lasted a little longer, and maybe Brian wouldn't have gone crazy. We started using this metal box to record our new songs with. We called it the Pretty Hate Machine, because it was silver and pretty, and we fucking hated it. We never really figured out how to use it correctly. I got it at a yard sale, so who the fuck knows if the damn thing even worked to begin with. It would make one side louder than the other. We could never figure out how to balance it out. So that's when I bought a 4-track recorder. 2 tracks, I guess, just weren't cutting it anymore.
Do you want to talk about the Shitheads?
No.
Our first tour, the Shitheads. Yeah, I mean, they were the first to, give us some respect. We were playing at this small bar, this small dark bar that smelled like sweaty ass and balls. The whole time we were playing, they had this jukebox going. They were playing that Ace of Spades song, which is fucking impossible to play over. But what we didn't know was the lead singer of the band, of the Shithead Motherfuckers, was watching in the audience. Now, if BBA was the worst band around, they were the best. Sam, the singer of the Shitheads, comes over to us at the end of our show and says, "Your fans love to hate you," which is so beyond true that it's scary. But we started talking about touring, but by this time a lot of other bands had started, these rumors about us.
What kind of rumors?
What kind? I don't know. Like that we stole from other bands and shit like that.
Did you?
Yeah, but still. Brian was all ready to go. He loved the idea of touring. But the idea of being stuck in a cramped room or bus with Brian for hours on end just didn't sound all that appealing. He's fun in small doses, but you quickly OD. But, I'm a fucking idiot, but I'm not a stupid fucking idiot. There was no way I'd pass up an opportunity to tour with a band that actually had a record deal. Of course, their record label hated the idea of them touring with us. But the band took a chance on us, which was their downfall and ours, I guess. long we've been touring with them. Maybe a month, maybe shorter. We're in Tennessee. I'm not sure where in Tennessee, just in the butt crack of it. But we had gotten a gig at a black church. No one knew it was a church till we got there and saw the sign. Our drum machine had decided to stop working that night. The only night we ever really had any kind of issue with it. So we asked Matt, the drummer from the Shitheads, if he wouldn't mind filling in for it. We were playing in the church basement. They had their own stage down there. Well, the night was going pretty well. I mean, we sucked like usual. Matt, I think, was trying to crap it up to, kind of match our quality. But he always had a smile on his face, so I think he was at least enjoying it. I don't think we sounded any better, but it felt like the first time that we were at an actual real band. All it took was a real life drum. I was on bass while Brian played guitar. He sucked at guitar too, by the way. I remember smiling from ear to ear, looking over at Brian and seeing he's smiling. We always played loud. We figured, the more distortion, the better. To help mask our lack of talent. So I didn't even hear the crowd screaming and yelling for help. It wasn't until I looked over at Brian and saw his face covered in blood that I knew something was wrong. I thought someone had thrown another bottle or cracked his head open. But when I looked over at Matt, he was just beating the drum like in a daze, like a wind-up toy. His head split wide open. His brains were visible for everyone to see. I don't even think he realized what had happened. He just kept banging the drum. I think the official report was a loose floorboard had buckled under the weight of Marshall stacks, and it just tipped over on him. How fucked up is that? Tragedy struck that band like a fucking cancer. Frank, the guitarist, stabs his girlfriend to death and then commits suicide. The bassist, on the other hand, took a face first plunge into a rock water game. Sam, a few years later, was performing with his new band for, a big name record company at some nightclub. As this is happening, across the street there's a shootout, and a stray bullet managed to find its way into his throat. He died immediately.
I won't blame them for what happened to me. How can I? They didn't shoot me up with snap, fill me with booze and put me on outer space. I didn't it myself. People see me like this and automatically need to put blame on someone. But Brandon Bryan had nothing to do with our demise. I may be the only living member of the Shitheads, but I forgot what I was going to say. I cannot truly remember much from that night. I was wasted on pills and aftershave. Sam came into the back room white as a ghost. He was yelling that someone killed man. I was completely out of it. I ran out on stage. I saw his blood everywhere. Someone had thrown a shit over him, but the blood was seeping too. I threw about one of Blackness America's abs. My stomach just couldn't take the sight of all the blood. We were still down in the basement for at least an hour before the cops showed up. The Death Devil drummer never really breaks up a band, but it did for the Shitheads. Soon after, we all kinda went our separate ways. I can't really complain. I never had to work a crappy day job, plus the government pays my bills. Not to mention the sex sitters I got to look after me.
Disgusting.
Whenever I go to Starbucks, I always get free coffee. I mean, I'm not allowed to go inside, but they bring it out to me.
Kind of goes without saying that the tour was officially over for us. After that, we got a new title, Cursed Band Around. No one wanted to tour with us. I mean, no one wanted to begin with, but now it was like we had the plague. We were left with no money, no idea on what to do next, so we decided, hey, let's cut a record. We went around to people, every indie record label you can think of. Only one gave us the thumbs up. And just like that, we were signed. I know I make it sound like it was easy, but when I came back to Black Bus America, nothing was easy. After a lot of trying, we were able to get signed, but really all they did was re-release the Unruly album. They gave us a chance to rework the album and make it sound fuller. Originally, it was just me with the guitar and Brian with a mic. We actually finished that whole album in a day. That was never happened before with us. And nothing was written down, no lyrics, no chords. We just sat down one morning in my bedroom, and before we knew it, we had recorded 14 tracks. I would throw like topics at Brian for him to sing about, or like just the name of a song, and the fucker would just spit out some of the craziest things you'd ever heard.
Sit down, take a crap, read the paper, magazines, jack off if you want to, bastard. I gotta say, this is one of the best songs.
Well, there's a lot of things, you know? A lot of things with Brent One Shot Killer that I just couldn't figure him out, man. He was just, he played his own thing. And mostly, I mean, there was a lot of tension in the end there. Especially, like, with the Pop-Tart incident. Oh, there's a lot of things I wish I could redo, you know? Who's to say they don't have any regrets in life? And, you know, I have my fair share. It's like, just as anyone else does. You know? The drinking, the drugs. I'm not out there to raise children, man. You know, I'm just there to make music and influence people's lives, you know? The gay rumors. I don't know what you're talking about. There might be stories out there, but trust me, when it comes to ladies, I like them small tits, short hair. What's the difference? It's not with dark hole. I feel like Jesus, man. No, well, I can't really be serious right now, man, because I took, for the interview, I took 6 hits of acid. I think I need time. I think I need to go and sort this shit out, man.
We didn't take ourselves seriously. We didn't do it for the money or girls or any kind of bullshit. At least it wasn't that way when we recorded the Unruly album. We could never recreate that moment or that sound. A lot of our later albums tried, but by then we had picked up too many bad habits. Plus, making music just wasn't fun anymore. It was more like a job, because that's what it was, a fucking job. I think like all of like 10 people bought the release of the album anyway. So all those 10 people out there that bought our album, thanks. But because of it, we started touring with this 2-man band called I think the record label had set it up. They didn't really want to tour with us, but the label made them. But by this time, I really didn't give a fuck. We were on cloud 9. We did the impossible. We were signed to a record label. We got our album in stores across the U.S. We were touring again. Things were really looking up for the two of us, which was great, because ever since the whole accident, Brian had been acting a little different. I guess, really, that was the first sign that maybe something was wrong with him. You can't really say what was different. I guess he just became more serious. I think it really affected him.
Tell us about it.
She was kind of like my muse, I guess. She gave me something to sing about. We had never played in Washington. Brian's dad actually lived there, so we had a place to stay while we were there. But yeah, we had a show the previous night, and I was checking out record stores for our album, but I couldn't find it anywhere. I had heard a popular vinyl record store had a bunch of copies, so I went to go check it out. As soon as I walked into the store, I saw that they had it. The cover is a picture of a green alien on the toilet waving at you. It was a great picture Brian took a long time ago for some contest to win a bunch of video games or something like that. Anyway, we loved it so much that we made it our album cover. It never won any video games. It did win us some record sales. As I'm thinking about buying our record, plus I don't have a vinyl copy, so I figured, why not? But as I'm considering it, I hear this sweet, mousy female voice ask me if I was in BBA. This is it, female groupie. About fucking time. So I turn around to say, well, yes I am, and there she was. Meg just standing there all beautiful with her big old anime eyes. I've never been tongue-tied around women. I've never even really been all that impressed by them. But with her, it was like packing my lunchbox to take to school for my first day. Something about her just made me weaken at ease. Brian always considered her to be a plain Jane, but to me she was anything but plain.
So, what did you think of Meg?
I think she's overrated.
No, I had no idea who she was. I mean, this was before they had made it big. I just knew it was something special standing in front of me. I turn around and say, yeah, do you want an autograph? And she says, you guys suck. For some reason it hurt like hell. All I could do was just laugh and agree with her. There was like a sandwich shop across the street, and we went and had lunch together. She filled me in on her band, and, you know, who she was and all that jazz. She asked if I'd like to go see her band perform in Detroit. Again, my impulses, they get the better of me, and I agree. The last time I did that, I had a beer bottle thrown at my head. And address, but Brian hates fucking reading, so he completely ignores the important note I left for him. I think it had been a week or two, and I'm still waiting for Brian to show up. Local H had left for New York. I stayed behind in Detroit with Meg. There wasn't much I could really do. I was just kind of sitting around waiting for him. I think I had to call his mom to get the number of his dad so I could find out where the fuck he was. First thing he says is,
Brent, you are a big brown dipshit.
Jack. Well, it was kind of obvious about them. I knew something was going on. I just decided to ignore it. Like a monster under your bed or in your closet. You just close your eyes, hope that it disappeared. I thought Jack was the other guy, but really I was. So I told her, figure out who means more to you, me or him, and you know the end of that story. I was pretty heartbroken. There's a difference between wanting to die and, not wanting to live. I just didn't want to live anymore because I was already dead. I was pretty lost in my own head. I didn't even realize how bad a shape Brian was in. On the road, we had, no money. And the only meal we'd ever get were, fast food or gas station snacks. I was heartbroken, and Brian was out of his fucking mind half the time. And, the tour became almost unbearable. We ended up just cutting the tour short. I remember we hadn't spoken to each other in almost 3 weeks. And he turns to me and says,
I don't want to play. You don't want to play? No, I don't want to sing anymore. You don't want to play bass? I want to play bass. I don't want to sing.
Brian always hated being the lead singer. Well, maybe he just hated being the lead singer of BBA. But after Local H had gone their separate ways with us, and after everything else, Brian just decided he didn't feel like singing anymore. I thought he just didn't like singing our songs, but he meant singing in general. I didn't know how to react. I just blew up at him. I forgot where we were. We were on the bus or van, I guess you could call it. But I don't know what state. Texas, maybe? But we were near a field. The part I kind of forgot to mention was while I'm yelling at Brian, he's taking his clothes off. I don't know why. Brian did a commercial for this Mexican sports drink that was looking for an audience here in the States. It was completely unrelated to BBA. The only reason I'm bringing it up is because Brian got a lifetime supply of the shit. And since food costs money we don't have, he filled his belly with the crap and nothing else but Pop-Tarts. But, that brings up another part of it. I have my very own box of Pop-Tarts that are mine, that I bought with my money. And Brian, he doesn't, like I mentioned before, he doesn't read anything unless he writes it, and he eats my Pop-Tarts. And that's, with everything, that was sort of the boiling point. He was just out of it and hyper and naked.
What happened was with me, I got stuck out here for about 3 days when we got caught in an argument over a Pop-Tart. He said I ate his last, but it was mine. I had my box marked, but that's how it goes in the band. I mean, we lived on a tour bus for it was really a tour bus, more like a van. Like one of those rape vans with no windows. Of course, Brent, being so demanding as he was, kept on saying, you had to feel the music, and I didn't care. I just wanted to smoke pot and drink beer and, whatever. But it came down, the straw that broke the camel's back was probably the argument over the Pop-Tart in the van. And that just rolled out of, it rolled out of control, and it was one of these great big things. And I just eventually said, fuck it, I don't want to be the lead singer anymore.
So how did you manage to be naked and left out here in the field?
See, that's the real funny thing. On our tour, we got sponsored by this drink company called The Violator. I don't know, it was one of those things where I just took a whole bunch, because they gave us a huge case of it. As much as we could drink. They were paying for basically gas money. And what they don't tell you is there's a dangerous side effect to it if you drink more than 2 liters of it. And that's what happened to me. I had what could only be consistent with a psychedelic experience.
Hey kids, are you tired of Coca-Cola and sports drinks that leave you burnt out? It's the Violator! It has the equivalent of 2 cups of coffee. It's the Violator! I love Violator. It's the Violator! Well, you'll love the Violator! Comes with 12 vitamins and minerals and zinc. Kids, do you like soda? Hey kids, do you like sports drinks? Hey kids, do you like milk? It's carbonated milk. 2 for the price of 2! I was violated. Now it comes in tofu. The Violator. Now available in chocolate.
Oh man. I gotta take a shit.
Does it bring back memories being back there?
A little bit.
How many days did you spend back there?
3 days, I think. I don't know, my time perception was off. It felt like 3 days, but I don't know. I mean...
So you were out here naked with a gourd. What'd you do for 3 days?
I basically ate wild berries and communed with nature. It was really beautiful.
So this is you hitchhike all the way back here?
Yeah, all the way back here.
Looks like you need to stop smoking there, Mad Dog.
Never!
So you trekked all the way back naked with your bass?
Oh, you wouldn't believe how friendly the natives are. Yeah, you gotta realize how friendly the natives of this area are. I mean, they just saw me naked and they just took me in with open arms.
Did this experience inspire you to write any songs or sing anything?
No, not really, not really. I did a Gordon Lightfoot. I did a Bob Dylan-esque type, folk music. Basically just me in the woods recording my log cabin music. Isn't this beautiful? I mean, to think some people say there's no God. This is where I bathed and I brushed my teeth, and I mean, it might not be the best water, but it sure works. Oh, hey MTV, welcome to my crib.
This is an MTV Crib, Brian.
Oh, well, what are you here for?
For an interview about BBA.
Okay, good, because I don't have the rent.
Tell me about your manager.
Our manager, he was kind of an asshole. Then again, he was the only manager we could get, so we didn't complain.
Tell me about BBA.
Tell you about BBA. I don't even know where to start.
Start from the beginning.
The beginning for me was when I first got our demo tape in the mail. It wasn't the best time for me really. My company was failing and so was my marriage. The wife had just left me at the time and my poor dog that I loved dearly had died. Oh, and my big toe was infected. Maybe those were signs I should have paid attention to.
Do you think BBA brings bad luck?
I think bad luck and BBA just seem to find each other.
What did you think when you listened to the album?
Took a few months still. I actually sat down and decided to listen to the damn thing. All I had to do was look at the title of the songs to see it was no good. Poop song. The song about poop. Come on. It was a joke. I just tossed it in with the junk pile along with the bills and endorsed papers.
So, what did you think when you actually sat down and had a listen?
What did I think? I thought it was the worst piece of shit I had ever heard in my life. But it made me smile. That infected toe had to be removed and I missed my dog. I hadn't smiled in a very long time, but every time I listened to the Unruly album, it always brought out a smile. Still does actually. It may be the worst piece of shit you've ever heard, but goddamn does it make you smile. Either that or kill yourself.
When we came back from the tour, we had nothing. I mean, we didn't even have 2 nickels to rub together. Not to mention our drum machine had died. So we ended up living in a storage unit for a while we recorded our new album.
So you became their manager?
Yes, against my better judgment, I decided to become the band's manager.
And how was that?
After the first 2, the band came into some money. Not a whole lot, but way more than they were expecting. They just didn't know how to spend it. Brian, I think, went out and bought a boat. The 2 idiots ended up living in the storage unit for a few months because they spent most, if not all, their money. I think it was then that I realized that these guys were a bunch of retards.
Yeah, I got my china and pots and pans. Strainer. I could cook you something if you're hungry. This is a picture of by a French landscape, photographer. Very expensive. I have to get it reframed though because it obviously broke. But yeah, we have that. Oh, we have a handmade china from Italy. I mean, very nice. You can't get this quality in stores. This right here, this is my heroin spin. Ah, found my speakers. This is my box of teddy bears, and right here's my box of tranny porn.
Since Brian had pretty much given up, everything was kind of left up to me. And with everything that was going on with me, I channeled the only thing I could in a broken heart. For 4, maybe 5 months, we lived and recorded One Side Love Story legally in a storage unit.
After the tour, we came back here and we recorded. We didn't fight too much then. We were good friends back then. Yeah, that was all until things got sour. But, you know, the good days are nice to look back upon. Not great, but you know, at least then we were friendly, not like we are now.
With the help of the record company, we were able to record 10 tracks. Our manager kind of made us use that money for, and only, the album.
The record company had given them some money to produce their second album. I had talked them into using the money wisely this time. They bought a drum machine, and that became the third member of the band.
Wrote a few songs here, you know. Just I like it here. It's quiet, you know. Most people don't bother us. I mean, there's a meth lab 2 blocks down, but we don't let that bother us. They come and listen to our music, which is really great. Meth addicts like our music.
I think One-Sided Love Story was my opus. It was my first time really stepping out as a singer and main songwriter. I found myself almost thinking, you know, what would Brian sing about? So I just channeled him pretty much, even though he wasn't there half the time. I wouldn't say I did it alone. I mean, he took part in a few tracks, some that didn't make the cut, and for something so bad that it didn't make the final cut for us, that's gotta be pretty bad. Yeah, we spent like crazy. That's why we didn't have anything left over. It was surprising to everyone just how much our merchandise sold. I just wish they didn't burn everything afterwards. It would be nice to see a BBA shirt on someone while walking around somewhere. Yeah, Brian got a boat. Everything kind of went to his head. I'd hate to see what he's like now that he's a big superstar in Europe. I'm sure he's an even bigger asshole.
Got this baby on, you know, after the first tour. You know, I called it the Mooker just to remind me of my friend Mookie. Yeah, we had some good times on this boat. Caught a lot of fish. Woo, dog, big ones. I hired a bunch of refugees from Sudan. You know, who says immigrant labor is bad? You know, I don't say it's bad. This is how I got my Mookie. This is a 400 horsepower engine. You know, this is custom designed in Germany. It's a BMW engine.
Lifespan of like every band is like 5-something years. I mean, because the thing about being in a band is that you got to see your bandmates every day. And since it was just the two of us, every day was just a little too much to handle. By this time, we were just sick of each other. As soon as we finished One-Sided Love Story, the record company wanted us to go out and to promote it, you know, tour again, and, you know, do whatever bands do to promote their album. We refused and they kicked us off the label. Then our manager fired us. So we were pretty much back to where we started, but with a boat.
Makes the ladies wet. Hello? Not right now. I don't have the money right now, but I could get it to you. Okay, no, you'll have the money. Don't worry about it. Well, did you talk to Janine? You know, I don't have the money right now. Name Janine. You know, it should be taken care of. But yeah, no, I know I'm late on the payment, but you know, I'm good for it. I have good credit. You know. Well, no. It should be okay because I talked to Janine in the office, and she said, all right.
Little problem with money?
No, I don't. It was just a fan calling. She just, you know, wanted to see. Where were we?
Are you a little... You're not living here, are you?
Temporarily, yes.
While you're on tour, you're staying in here?
I mean, it's consider getting a place in the city is around $500, $600 a month. This is only about $70. So, you know.
I don't think you're allowed to live in here, are you?
Well, what they don't know won't hurt them. But yeah, no, this is enough for me.
This is illegal, though. This is extremely illegal.
No, it's not illegal. Not illegal. I mean, they don't deliver mail here, so technically it's not a residency. But if you have more questions like that, the interview's over.
Everyone knew where the CEO of Sony parked his car. He'd park it up front, but park horizontally so his car would take up 4 spots instead of 1. So everyone knew that that was his car. Only a CEO of something would do something that assholey. So we came up with this idea to break it to his car and plan our new album in there. Apparently it worked because he sent a representative to one of our shows to, check us out. It was also the night I was mildly electrocuted by a microphone. So yeah, it was pretty horrible. But at the time, all these big-time record companies were grabbing up all these indie bands. So Sony took a chance and signed us. We moved out of the storage unit into a house the company had set up for us. All in all, it was pretty nice. They said they liked One Sad Love Story, but they wanted to release it with more than 10 tracks. So they combined our other previously unreleased albums together with it. I think it took maybe 4 different albums for them to make up the One Sad Love Story album.
My job was to turn Black Bus America into, well, not Black Bus America. The whole idea of it never made any sense to me. It is like asking if you would like to have bacon or cheese on your turd sandwich. You can put whatever you want on it. You are still eating a shit sandwich.
They were pretty desperate to, get their money's worth out of us. They needed a hit, and they didn't see any. But I think me and Brian both, we convinced them that, Japanese Sun could and would be a potential hit.
I really thought we hit it big. It was a real good song.
Call Black Bus America a joke band. That would imply others would have to be in on the joke. I would call them a serious band that could never keep a straight face. If I had one regret, it was not finishing the Black Tapes album. I think when it came down to it, I just could not understand their vision. Black Bus America liked laying down tracks in one take. It did not matter if something they said or did made them laugh during it. They would just keep going. Most bands would stop and start again, but not them. They saw beauty in imperfection. Either that or they were just too fucking lazy to do it again. We recorded the album A Pathetic Love at the house they set up for us, completely without the company's knowledge. The album we were recording for Sony just made us miserable. Yes, they were being taken advantage of by the label. But I'm not their friend. I was not there to babysit them. My job was to record this album and to make them sound like they were actually musicians that knew what the hell they were doing. Tensions grew between them as production for the album went along. Brian would take off for days with no one knowing where he was. Eventually he would come back with a shaved head and some story to tell. Not sure why, but he would always vanish then come back without any hair. Not like Brent was any easier to work with. He would run around with a sock that had poo on it, called it his poop sock. Guy would have whole conversations with the fucking thing. That whole damn group was fucked in the head if you ask me. I have worked with a lot of bands and only Black Bus America has ever threatened me with a poop sock. I presented the Pathetic Love Story album to them and they just passed on it. They wouldn't even give it a chance, which was kind of the last straw for me. Brian had had enough a long time ago. I knew we were getting fucked over, I just didn't know what to do about it. But it was a good thing Brian had an uncle that did. He went over our contract and it pretty much said what we all knew. We were getting fucked. So we had 2 options open to us. A, we stick with it, we finish the release, the album, or B, we leave and go back to the storage unit.
and there's no way I was going back to that, so we stuck it out. That is till they wanted to change their name, and pretty much replace me as lead singer. The only problem is they held all the rights to the album. They also had all the rights to our previous albums as well. We left and they refused to hand them over. I can't even begin to tell you how much that pissed me off. So me and Brian set the CEO's car on fire.
I'll tell you who's funny, you motherfuckers. You eat my mashed potato, I'll burn your fucking car. Hey, take that, funny. Oh my god! Oh god, no! Oh, my skin is burning! Not funny!
We were recording some new tracks at our house before the company took it from us. It was just, we were just flying through tracks, and it was a pretty magical moment. Boom! You know, the cops came bursting through the door with machine guns pointed at us.
Winky in his mouth, make him look so hungry. Twinkie in his mouth, make him look so.
How fucked up is that? Just for setting a guy's car on fire. Fire wasn't even really that big. We spent a few nights in jail, that's all. Our manager bailed us out.
When they were arrested, that was the last time I ever saw or talked to either one of them. No, I can't say I miss them.
So once again, we're back to where we started, but this time even less than before, if that was even possible. Brian got crazier, I got fatter, we both got poorer, our instruments got junkier, and our clothes got stinkier. Things really weren't looking too good for us. I think that's when Brian started talking about Germany. I mostly just ignored him, but I never thought he'd actually take off.
Ja, wir spielen. Spielst du? Ja, wir spielen. Fußball, ja! Ja, mein Fuß, Bein hier, ja? Ready. Was? Und pass back. Oh, ja, no, we're good. And watch it, he would not be able to catch my ball. Fick dich! Dich!
Fick deine Mutter!
Nein!
Ich will fick deine Mutter, ja!
Nein! Deine Mutter ist ein Schlamper!
Du bist ein Schwüler!
Oh, fick dich!
Du bist eine Schweinficker!
Du bist ein Schweinficker, Mutter!
You remember the time, we were in the Moscow and Zabanya?
Oh yeah, no, we were in the Russian Banya, and what is it? It's a great thing. Great. If you ever go to Moscow, you gotta go get this. It's you sit in a bathhouse First of all, everyone in there is completely naked. You got these chicks serving you beer, and they come down and they beat you with these oak things. But me and him were naked, and like I noticed, he was circumcised, and we were both circumcised. What is it? Like we had that at the brothel, and then we went to the bathhouses where we get completely naked. No, we actually, well, after BBA, we decided to. I decided I needed a break, and so I met this guy over there, and he had the idea of touring bathhouses.
Bathhouses are very interesting.
Yeah, so like I didn't know anything about the bathhouse culture, but apparently it's like just a place everyone goes, gets completely naked, and sweats for hours and drinks beer and talks. And so yeah, that was the proto Arslos. How we started was we would go into the bathhouses, and he'd bring his acoustic guitar, and we just start playing.
Fire, living on the Autobahn. Ich bin allein, aber nix ganz allein. Du bist meiner Frauenfreude. Rock'n'Roll.
Wir haben kein Auto.
Was?
Was sagst du?
Ah, Mensch, so ein Tech. Scheißkopf. Nein, fick dich. Oh no. BBA was a complete train wreck. Well, some Brent would blame it on me, but you know, like for me, I was musically with BBA, I was constipated, and that my constipation was Brent. You know, man, like I met this motherfucker. We were at a party, and like I never done acid before until I met this guy, and he's just like,
American musicians, they all do acid.
yeah, I didn't know that though, but he came up to me and he gave me this like purple Jesus like thing, and like you know, I never took it before, so like I took like, you know, I was supposed to take one, but I took like 6. And like
He was crying like a little girl.
Oh man, fuck you. Might have wept a bit. Might have cried a bit, but that was only because I saw Jesus on a mountaintop talk to me because I was a fish. And that was like the first. And that's where I got my my first song with Farslos, which was Fish Cried Jesus Crackers.
Unterwegs an der Straße mach ich Explosion. Ja, Mann! Liebe mich mein Mancher, ja! Deutsche Frauen, lieb mich ja! Ja, no! Bürgerlein, Fraulein, ja! Ausschluss ist immer weg! Das ist super fantastisch!
So, Brian.
Fucking mad dog.
Well, you see, there was this one time when our nuts touched.
Yeah, we were at a brothel. I met him at a brothel in Denmark, and there was this like real fine woman, and we were all, you know, just over her. And like, you know, we didn't have enough money to have her for ourselves, so we had to go halfsies on her. And like, you know, he looked pretty alright. So we went upstairs, and you know, we're fooling around, and you know, right in the middle of it, like
our nuts just the scrotum they came together.
Yeah, our scrotums touched, and like, you know, I looked him in the eye and he looked me in the eye, and I know, like, you know,
we could make music.
We can make music. I mean, it's like we became scrotum brothers.
The real tragedy is not that BBA broke up, it's that it ended a friendship. That was all BBA really was in the end. They had no real talented musicians, they just weren't cut out for this business. They were just two friends that made music in their bedrooms.
I think by then we both had just about it. I mean, things were never going to look up for us. We've been fucked over and stepped on for years, and we both had enough. By then we were pretty much just phoning it in at this point. I mean, literally, we started to just record our songs over the phone. At the time, I thought we were doing something original or artsy or something. But really, we were just being lazy.
Today was a rainy day when my money went away. Where did it go? I do not know. Today was a rainy day. There was a guy there. He didn't like me. Trying to come fuck up. But he didn't listen. And there's a day when my money went away. My brother's yelling and screaming. It really sucks to beat him. My money went away. There's homosexuals on TV. Robert's yelling at me. I'm gonna beat his ass. Oh yes I am. Oh yes I am. He really wants me to kick him because he's trying to come in the room. I'm gonna beat his ass. That motherfucker.
I think Brian was the one who ended it. I'm not sure. I had long left by that time, but if I had to guess, I'd say it was Brent's fault Brian left. But who knows?
Okay. Sure. Oh. Oh, sorry. And then trip and fit on the microphone. Like you could do anything better.
Yet there was fighting. There's fighting in every band. I think Brent wanted to take the band in a different direction than Brian. Brian wanted to be more experimental, I guess you could say.
Hello?
Using your head.
I think I can get it. You are gay!
It is not unusual to see members laughing with each other 1 minute, then having a fist fight the next.
There it is. No, Brian. There it is.
The two kinda clashed over different ideas. I knew that this band was a time bomb just waiting to go off. But to answer your question, yeah, there was a lot of fighting and yelling. When it wasn't band related, they were fine, but soon as it became band related, it was a whole different story.
What fucking reason, Brian? Your fucking bass is too loud. I said that to fucking change it.
The last time I saw Brian was at this free-form experimental music concert. It was a gig Brian's dad found for us. We had mostly performed on small stages in front of small crowds, but this was completely different. The crowds here were giant. I was scared shitless. There were about 4 stages. Bands were all playing at the same time, so it sounded pretty chaotic. I've never witnessed anything like it, really. It was like our Woodstock. We managed to gather quite the crowd around us. I was out of my mind nervous, and Brian was just loving it. this was what Brian had always, set out for. And we both knew that together this could never really happen. So after we were done, Brian left for Germany.
How long has it been since you've seen Brian?
I haven't seen him in almost 10 years.
With Brian on his first American tour, do you think you'll see him?
No, I don't think I'll see Brian while he's here. I think we said all we needed to say to each other,
Not many people could listen to something so raw. I mean, it was just so raw and in your face that it's like either you got it or you didn't. And as for a reunion, it just depends on the circumstances.
But truthfully, I think BBA is better off dead. I don't think it should ever be resurrected. It's best for a lot of people's well-being that it stay that way.
Does that mean you're starting to believe the myth of BBA?
I'm starting to believe that BBA never did anything good for anybody, especially for us. And I don't see why I would want to bring that back.
In your opinion, was BBA the worst band in the world?
No, not really. Worst band in the world is the band that never tried. It's the music never written, it's the movie never made. That's the worst. Because as long as you're doing something, it's better than nothing. Not trying is the worst. How you like me now?